So once again, too, at this time as well, this is when the I think I don't know if I mentioned this going back to really quickly about Yousef. Yousef ended up getting caught 2 years later in 1995. So he ended up going to jail for 240 years. So the U.S. did eventually find him. But during this time, right before he was getting apprehended, and once again, if you want to look at the very like a super dense version of this, like very compact, listen to the Apple podcast by David DeSalo called, like I said, I think I said it earlier. It's called 0 Hour: The History of 9/11. Just absolutely nuts. And whatever. So, really quickly. So this is, Dan, when I said earlier about the BOJINKA plot. So like I said, mid-90s, this is when Ramzi Yousef and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed were planning on a terrorist attack. This terrorist attack, and Shane, you're aware of the BOJINKA plot, right?
Yeah.
This terrorist, I'm going to list some of the things in this terrorist plot, man, and it's freaking crazy. So once again, designed by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Yousef. So they were going to go kill Pope John Paul II on like World Youth Day or whatever. They were also going to take, I think it was 11 to 12 Malaysian airlines
Flying to the U.S.
And blow them
all up because they wanted to shut down worldwide travel. Right, that was the goal.
Right. And also the way they had proof that this was going to happen too by looking at because Ramzi Yousef, right before he got caught, like they were trying to set off like bombs in their apartment, and he set one off in his building, and the Pakistani intelligence authorities.
Damn, I wish it killed
like
him.
I said, this is mid-90s. I know we wish. And also at this time, they had another plot to go and fly a Cessna into, was it the Pentagon? Or the CIA headquarters at Langley. So it's like this plot never happened. If this had been carried out, 4,000 people would have died.
Right.
It's just, once again, if people want to look even more into it, there's so many YouTube videos on the BOJINKA plot once again. And this word BOJINKA was like a random word that like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed like heard when they were fighting in Khalid Sheikh Mohammed also, he was fighting in the Soviet wars. One other thing too on Khalid Sheikh Mohammed real quick, Shane, is that he what was it? He also like he came to America in like 83 and also became like similarly eventually radicalized.
But dude, the thing with the BOJINKA plot, people will just write it off. Oh, it never happened. It was just a plot. Yeah. But dude, it's really powerful people coming together saying they're going to do this, having plans to do it. Yeah. They never carried it out, but still the gravity of that, like you got to understand. That's very severe.
Right.
Very severe.
And like I said, obviously we're not journalists, we're not experts or whatever, we're not historians, but you like all this information is very, very accessible.
In hindsight, yeah.
Yeah. And it really just is. There's so many things
no one was taking them seriously.
Right. And so
at least from the US.
Yeah. So they were originally, when they were going to ram like this like Cessna into Langley or whatever, they were just going to put, they were going to put like explosives on the plane and do it through that way. Yeah. So at this time also, like I said, this is 1999. And when I heard this, and I don't know I think this was from one of the documentaries I watched, or no, this was from the 0 Hour. KSM came out with this phrase called the Department of Martyrs, which is like basically he brought this to bin Laden. Yeah. So he brings the airplane idea to bin Laden in 99, where bin Laden approves it. So he came up to, at some point, once again, I'll just for the sake of time, basically Khalid Sheikh Mohammed obviously he wasn't originally under bin Laden, but he eventually came under him. And this Department of Martyrs, which is like, oh, we have a long list of people who are willing to die for paradise.
And that list of people, they lived in Germany, and they all spoke English well. They fit right in, like you would never know.